Now, what I've been shown in terms of my spiritual awakening and enlightenment is understanding that mathematics, geometry, science all work in tandem, and there's literally no separation between any of it. When you are studying science, or you're studying math, or you're studying geometry, you're studying the nature of God and everything that is coexisting in one space. It's all a part of the all that is. And the formula that I was given in terms of creation is this particular earth realm is governed by the mathematical equation of 22 divided by 7, which is 3.14, which is pi. Pi is the radius of two inverted pyramids, which is an irrational number. It does not repeat, which represents an unlimited number of possibilities of creation. So if you look at this chart that I created called the quantum superposition of the Last Supper, the delta door of death or photon life of pi, we're talking about the equation or the mathematics of the earth realm. So you have two inverted pyramids, and as you can see from the math that I put in terms of how this sphere is numbered, you have 1, 3, 4, 6, and then you have 2 and 5, which pans out to be 1 and 3 is actually the number 4, which is the quad or the ankh, and you have the number 22, which is actually the number 4. So that all pans out. And then at the bottom, you have 2 and 5, which are strobogrammatic numbers, and those are inverted numbers, which actually equal the number 7, which 7 is the side, which is a subtraction type of a number, or the reaper. The 7 being the side is talking about how we go through this process of birth and rebirth. And this is also a process that's happening on a cellular level in terms of the autosomes or the chromosomes and the chromatids within the body. You have 22 autosomes that are in the body, and they go through this process of meiosis or spermatogenesis within the males. And it's basically a combination and a reduction that is happening on a cellular level. That is the exact same mathematics that exists on a earth realm level. So 22 autosomes within the body that is a part of the chromosomes that exist within the human body, male and female. And you also have the number 22 within the earth realm, which is representative of the number 1 and 3, which is the 13th bloodline, or the number 4, or the quad, or the 4 quadrants of earth. Everything kind of works in tandem together. And you have 22 divided by 7, which is 3.14, or pi. The womb space of a woman is within the shape of an inverted pyramid, and when she's giving birth, or this egg comes into the midpoint of her womb space every month, this egg is being placed at the quantum superposition, waiting for fertilization every month within her body. And when you talk about the midpoint, or finding the radius or the pi of two inverted pyramids, you have to do so with a circle or the base around the bottom of that pyramid, which creates this midpoint that takes you to the mid or the radius of the circle of the pyramid, which will take you to the midpoint or the top of that pyramid, which is 180 degrees. 180 degrees is half a circle. 4 and 6 being the midpoint is actually perfect, because you have a 1 and a 0, because 6 plus 4 equals 10, and 1 and 0 is the phallus and the circle. This also represents qubits, which is a quantum measurement, basically a system of zeros and ones that creates binary code, which is the binary implication of all existence, meaning that we are all a string of code, which is comprised of ones and zeros, just condensed into smaller numbers, basically, so that we can exist within this physical matter body. When at the center point, to find the radius of two inverted pyramids, you need to go to the center point of the circle of that pyramid, and that brings you to this midpoint, which is a 1, and it goes directly through the pyramid, and it goes through the birth canal of the woman, impregnates the egg, basically, and it creates this process by which life can spring forward. This is the same mathematics that governs the realm, okay? When the male species is created, there is a process that is happening where these particular autosomes are losing portions of themselves, or they're being reduced, or they're going through a degeneration on a cellular level. This is a process of death, or basically, I guess you could say decay over time, that creates the male species. It's a process of subtraction. So you're still talking about this 7 energy, or the side energy, subtracting or going through this process of division between the masculine and the feminine. You have these XX chromatids that exist, or autosomes within the body, that are constantly going through this process of division or reduction. And you have the entire process of meiosis, which is how male and female are created, or how life in and of itself is birthed and created. You have 22 autosomes within the body that creates all life, and you have 22 within this realm divided by 7. And this is why I say that the Bible is a grimoire and is numerically coded, because as you can see, when they talk about the Passover, which is the ceremony that happens of unleavened bread before the crucifixion of Jesus, Luke chapter 22 verse 7 is where it's nestled. 22 divided by 7, the Passover. The Passover is the 2 dots in the passing over of this particular plane, or the 2 inverted pyramids, basically creating all life through this process of division. 22 divided by 7 is the formula for all of this particular earth realm's creation. And we're talking about the symbiosis of the masculine and feminine divine, and the actual physical experience we're having here, in addition to the earth realm and how it's created mathematically. This is the math formula for all of our existence in this particular space.